So I just built this box. It is 4.6.4.7 cubes net each sub. There is Resilient Gold Team 15s. I put a baffle inside, 11-inch diameter to hold the magnets inside each one. I did extra 45s. I have to give this a vacuum. Now I just noticed this, but I just freshly painted. As you can see, it's still wet in certain spots. I just painted it in this crappy ass weather that we're having. But anyways, just painted it. I do have to paint the back. I can't get to it right now just because, but I told the customer I was going to give him a roller and some paint and in a jar, and he could paint it in to do any touch-ups. But I did the epoxy glass on here to make it look more granite, a little bit different style. Turned out really nice. Few little imperfections that I don't like just because the way that this here is a piece of the epoxy, the pigments, they clumped up when it poured out, and then it rose up because when you use the fire, it lifts air bubbles or anything in it. So it made a few mistakes. As you can see, there's red right here as the pigment pulled up because I did a ghost red, so you can't really see it because there's no sunlight out here right now. But when you go with red in the sun or under fluorescent lights, you'll see that it has a red shine to it, like a pearl effect. So they call it a ghost pearl, but it has blue and red in it. So at certain angles, like as you can see, like I don't know if this camera does justice, but you can see a little bit of a red hue in here. Not that you can really tell in this camera as I look at it. But anyways, a few cool features that it did. Anyways, the port is 39 inches by 5 inches by 34, I believe. I went back with it. Tuned for 34, 35 hertz. I put dual supports. I did 3 pieces of birch. I did a dual piece of birch to go to the back of the box. It is double baffle front, double baffle back. I realize I should have double baffled this. I will tell the customer what I would suggest, just because as you can see when I'm holding this here, not much, but there's a bit of flex. And when I found that with my brother's vehicle and it was a really long port, I should have thought of this waves back and forth. So what I'm going to suggest is you take a bolt, you put it through here, you find the center, you put a bolt through here, then you put the washer, then you put a washer on this side, then you put a nut, then you put a nut on this side, a washer, and then you go on the inside of this, and then you put a nut and a washer, and then you tighten them all to the right gap, and then this will not flex at all. And then it doesn't mess up your port because it doesn't see that, because it's nothing that's really going to screw anything up. And it's an oversized port. 14,000 watts this port can handle up to without any port noise. It's very, very large port. It's going to move a lot of air for this man's speakers. But yes, I do have the vacuum. As you can see, there's a few shavings from the thing. There's another bit of red how it come up. So a few things I'm not too happy with. Overall, it turned out pretty good. For the price he paid, it turned out really good, etc. But yeah, so this is my last speaker box that I am building. I have a few people that I told them I would finish their boxes or do something for them. That's it. But other than that, I am not taking on any more customers and building any more speaker boxes. I am changing into something else, or at least working on my vehicle to perfect things so I can learn how to do all of the brakes and all the tools and everything like that, and make videos on how to do it yourself. To give you ideas what you would need, and also to perfect my craft if I were to continue to build boxes for any friends or something like that. But as for now, I'm stepping out of the game, and yeah, pretty cool, big system. It's one way to sign off that I kind of like it. And as you can see, all the bracings, my ports, by the way, as you can see, that goes down. That's a 45 and there's a 45 down in there. And how that works, you won't be able to see it, is I went like this. So I went from here 5 inches all the way down to here, and then I went on an angle on both Instead of just having a port so it was here and then putting a round off, I actually did a 45, because then I noticed that from there to there, there's only a little gap compared to when you go from here to here, how there's actually a bigger gap because it's actually supposed to sweep. So if you did a curved, then it works really nice. But anyways, one love. Hope you enjoyed the video. And good luck to anybody who's building speaker boxes, because I'm telling you right now, it's a very tedious pain in the ass.